Welcome to Anamkara. We are a collective of kindred spirits, Gaelic for soul friends. And every month, as some of you may know, we get together and we have a visitor, or we have one of our own kindred spirits present a program that will enrich all of our lives, no matter who you love, who you are, what your life journey is. We love to have people like our guest this month for the spring equinox. Renee Hill is going to come, or we're going to her place actually. So this month we will be having our program in North Side Richmond this year instead of at the Goochland farmhouse, which we love. However, we thought we'd switch things up a little bit because of a special labyrinth that we're going to be working on.
But it's not this month, it's in March.
That's right. Right. Well, March 23rd, yeah, a whole month away. But what we're going to do is celebrate the spring or the vernal equinox as well, because of the labyrinth that we built, and we'll be doing a little bit of fun stuff to go with that, and the feasting as usual. So what is the spring equinox? This is when days and nights are equal. I can't wait for it because winter's been so long and cold this year. And that's what spring is about. That's what butterflies are about. That's what this labyrinth walk is about, transformation. Okay? So over the millennia, labyrinths have been built, walked, and revered for their transformational properties. When one is looking for guidance on their life journey, their path, to answer a question, find a new way to go about something in their life, and I mean, what better time to honor, or what better way to honor the spring equinox than to walk a butterfly labyrinth? And so what we're doing is, back a couple years ago now, actually, we built that labyrinth at your house, Renee. We built it in the shape of a butterfly. Let me give you a sneak preview here. This. This came out of a conversation. Why did you want to build a labyrinth in the first place, Renee?
Karen, let me tell you, this has been such a saga for me because, well, my husband passed in 2020. So already I was thrown into change and beginning anew and trying to find ways to support my spirit. And so I've long had a meditation practice, but I was looking for other ways to really enhance my spiritual path, and to help me to be grounded and really to find peace. So I've always loved walking labyrinths, and there's one, a really elaborate one that's not far from our house, but it's hard to have a daily practice when you have to walk way down the street away from the family and responsibilities that I have at home. So we have a person who comes in and does our yard, and I asked him about building a labyrinth, and he said, oh yeah, he could do it for $1,000. So that idea died. But then at the church we were attending at the time, there is a beautiful labyrinth in the back, and I asked the minister at that time if I could talk to someone about how they had built that labyrinth in the back and get some advice. Guess who she suggested I talk to? Ta-da!
Which I was so grateful for, because labyrinths have been a passion of my life for 20 some years. And I've usually drawn the more traditional labyrinths on paper and then transferred them over to geometrically a land somewhere. And yes, I had a lot of help in the labyrinth at our church. However, when we started to explore the idea of different patterns, we looked at the yard, the shape of the yard, the width, and so forth, and I saw these little butterflies all around the yard. A solar butterfly, a garden butterfly here, chimes there. Do you happen to like butterflies, Renee?
What would make you think that? Oh my God, that working with you and being your assistant has been so wonderful. I mean, the way that that labyrinth was born was nothing short of miraculous. If anybody could have videoed us when we were there, my face would have this look of, I don't know what's happening the entire time. Because you were walking around and putting down strings or ropes or something, and then paint, and then you were seeing something, and what I saw was a bunch of paint and a bunch of strings. I saw no pattern whatsoever. I didn't understand it. And then it came into being. It was just amazing. It is so beautiful.
One day, didn't it? Well, we sort of laid it out once. A week later, we dug it. We laid the bricks.
With that tiller that, let me just say, I respect all farmers because that tiller was no joke. It was like running after a racehorse.
That was.
But,
and then what you did was beautiful. She has this wonderful butterfly bench in the center of the labyrinth that you can sit in, and just, it's facing the wooded area, and it's just so spiritually comforting. And then you put a free library over there on the road right beside it, right? And some information about the labyrinth. So it's a community labyrinth, is it not?
that was one of the reasons why I wanted it there. It's not far from the street. It's not on the street, but it's accessible from the street. And we put a sign up welcoming anyone who wants to walk it to come and walk the labyrinth.
What a gift. What a gift you've given the neighborhood.
What a gift you've given me. Thank you. It really grounds me to go out in the morning and walk that labyrinth and sit on the bench and kind of contemplate my day and what's happening around me.
Yeah.
I really
And then
appreciate you.
you graciously offered to have the Equinox event there, which is beautiful.
I am so happy to offer it to anyone who wants to come. And let me just say, after we have this program, if anybody wants to ever come back and walk the labyrinth, they are so
Lovely.
welcome.
Lovely, thank you.
Thank you.
So we will walk. Let's see, I don't know if we've totally, we did talk about the events of the day, but basically we will have a labyrinth walk, but we'll have a couple creative exercises as well. And we were thinking that first Renee would introduce us to one of her passions, which is creating origami peace cranes.
Peace cranes, yeah.
Let's see what we're going to be
A
doing
few years
here.
ago, a friend and I started making peace cranes, and many people know the legend of the peace cranes, but I did a little background work so I could give you kind of a more detailed story, because it's so layered. There's so much involved in the story and the myth of the peace cranes.
Mm-hmm.
So it starts out, well, at least the latest iteration of it, starts out with a little girl named Sadaka Sasaki, who was a Japanese girl who was 2 years old when we dropped the bomb on Hiroshima, or Hiroshima as Americans call it. And she got sick, of course, from the radiation. Mm-hmm. So a friend of hers told her that the crane, which is a sacred bird in Japan, is supposed to live for 100 years. If a sick person folds 1,000 cranes, then they would get well. So the little girl started folding the cranes. And unfortunately, she died when 10 years after she was exposed. But her story inspired people all around the world. And so paper cranes, they symbolize honor, good fortune, loyalty, and longevity. And this is why the Japanese believe that anyone with the patience and commitment to fold 1,000 origami cranes would be given good fortune and granted a wish. And today they have really become connected to peace. And as we know, these times are fraught, and this is a good time for us to be doing anything we can do to bring peace. So let's fold those cranes, boys and girls.
Yeah.
So they are folded as a wish for peace in many countries around the world. By this way, this information came from the internet. Renee did not make this up, I'm just saying. So I'm hoping that when we come together, in addition to walking the labyrinth, we can fold these beautiful cranes out of origami paper. And with each one, we can give it a wish for peace in the world, and hopefully it will come to be. I know it will come to be. I know it will come to be. But this will help it to come to be. Our good wishes, they have power. So
that is beautiful. And it fits right into our theme for the year. First, peace within. As we make our cranes, maybe ponder bringing that peace within, and then how and when and how together we spread it back out.
Absolutely.
Lovely. Not that we need to make 1,000 that day, but we'll learn.
Oh, I don't know. We can work night and day, night and day.
Thank you. I can hardly wait, because origami is, as you say, it takes a lot of patience, but what a thrill and what a sense of accomplishment when I actually make something.
Plus, they're so pretty.
They are. They're wonderful. I love your string of cranes as well. That is just lovely.
Thank you.
Then we'll have sort of stations, the walking of the labyrinth, making the cranes, and making the butterflies. So these butterflies are something that I've done in the past with people that are a lot of fun to make, because they also represent peace and
those are gorgeous.
Transformation. So we will be making these little butterflies, yes, that everyone will take all of these home with them too. And we will do it all within the normal 2 hours, 2.5 hours that we typically spend together. Then we will feast as usual at Renee's place this time.
That's going to be so fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
Rain or shine, you can walk that labyrinth with an umbrella if necessary.
All right,
Hopefully we
hardcore.
won't have to.
Then you can come in and get something warm to eat. It'll be great.
It will be wonderful. I'm so looking forward to it, Renee. Thank you for hosting.
Me too. Thank you for asking me. I love it.
Thank you so much for coming today, Renee, and talking about our dream for peace in the world together on March 23rd. If you would like to register, or you'd like to join our YouTube channel, then by all means subscribe. And our email is at the bottom of the screen for registering. Plus, the 1st of March, we should have our website up, and you would be able to go there and register as well. This is the March program. In April, we will be having a 4-hour or so cleanup of the labyrinth on the farmhouse land in Goochland. That is going to be wonderful. We'll be cleaning the triple spiral up. We will be mulching. We will be planting. We will be celebrating and have a spring ceremony on it at the end of that. That'll be wonderful. Because on May 4th, I believe it's the 4th, 5th, it's the first Saturday in May, is World Labyrinth Day. And I know I'm talking a lot about labyrinths, but again, we talk about it being a metaphor for our life journey. And as you said, the world can use so much peace right now. And that is definitely, it's always typically a theme of world peace, where everyone around the world walks as one at one on their respective labyrinths 24 hours on that day.
Oh, wonderful.
And then in June, we will have the summer solstice. And our guest that day will be Wendy Morgan from the Alchemist shop in Bon Air, and she's going to be teaching us an introduction to sound healing. I'm so excited.
Oh, wow.
It's a wonderful spring. Take a little break in the summer and start anew in the fall. So, on that note, thank you again.
Oh, my pleasure.
To your health, Salancha.
Salancha.